What is up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight. Continue our lake breakdown of Lake Chickamauga. This one has been huge. If you have been following along, you will know that we finally finished all of the Google Earth breakdowns. And as I was going through those videos, I actually realized we've already done one offshore hotspots for this lake. I actually screwed it up when I was doing my recording. Didn't realize that when we were up on the north section, when we got done with that Google Earth part, I actually switched over and started to do the offshore hotspots, and then I switched back to the Google Earth stuff. So for those of you following me, wonder if I was crazy, yeah, totally screwed that one up. So if you missed that video, click up here. That will take you to our first offshore hotspots video for Lake Chickamauga. And tonight, it's gonna be episode number 2. We're gonna stay on that north side and see what we can find. Let's go. Welcome back to the Navionics web application, where we do all of our offshore breakdowns for you to kind of show you where the hotspots are and what we think are going to be the key areas for you to fish when you're really focusing on the offshore side. Now, unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, I already broke down this side of this portion of Lake Chickamauga. So the Hisui River, I think is how you say it, or I'm not even sure how you say it, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. But we broke down this entire side. So all the way over here, we went down through here. We talked about all these spots that were over here. There's a lot more than what you can see on the screen. If I zoom in, you'll notice that there's quite a few more to go take a look at. A lot of them here in that area as well. We went all the way down here too, down in this area, took a look at all those spots. Then we came back up right here where the bin is, and that's where we stopped at. Now, if you missed that video, don't worry. I'll put a link in this video so you guys can go see that one. You can also go out to my lake breakdown playlist that's on the YouTube channel for Simplistic Fishing, and you'll be able to find all the lake breakdowns that we did, including that one, and all the Google Earth videos we did for Lake Chickamauga. So let's go ahead and get started here, and let's talk about all the good stuff that this area has to offer. Now, what we'll do is usually I just start on the east side, work my way up and come back down. But since this is a river channel and we're really looking more at offshore stuff, we're just gonna start in a section and just work our way up until we get up to the dam at Watts Bar. So let's go ahead and just talk about right in here. So when we get right around this bend, we already talked about that spot actually. We wanted to start right here. When we get over here, two things really over here that just wanted to point out to you, and that's just going to be these two submerged culverts. So you'll want to take a look at those. Both of those have really good creek beds that are coming into them. Just a good place for them to set up on, some good cover for them to relate to. Now, if you get out here more towards the channel, this is where things really start getting interesting. So you've got a really good ledge going on right in here, and right where you see that point, I'm going to zoom in right there, and you're going to notice that one's just a little bit more special than all the other ones that are out there. And why I say that, actually this one's kind of similar to it, but these are little bitty, just really small points that come out, but it's great places for them to hide at and to find some kind of a current break. So definitely anywhere where these points are going to be pretty good little areas to go check out. Now, as we move over here, we get on this side, we're going to have the same type thing, right? You've got some really good ledges going on all along on this side, as well as this side. And then over here, I've just kind of marked this for you as being ledges. I just kind of marked the whole thing, but basically it's going to be that entire area. Just work down the ledge and see where you can find the fish. You've got a lot of ledges going on over here as well to take a look at. And then on this side, you kind of have the same exact thing, just really, really, really sharp drops that are going on right there in those areas where those channels are. All right, so let's keep moving up, see what else we can find. So as we come up here, we come off of that. Actually, there's another one of those points. Thought we were coming off of that break, but there's none of those points that we talked about. But here, we're coming kind of off of a big steep wall, right? And then we're coming right here into more of a shallow area. So right in here, you'll see that. And you'll hear me talk about this a lot on the lake breakdown videos, but I love to look at places like this where it's really steep. You know, if you have a bluff wall or if you have a creek channel or something like that, right where it tapers off right at the end seems to be a really good spot to be able to find stuff. And this is kind of doing the same thing. It's turning here, but it's tapering off right here in this section. So right in here, and wouldn't you know it, there's already a a fish marker there that someone put there. But right in that area, I'm thinking you're going to have some pretty good success. Now, as we move on up, just some more things to take a look at. Again, we've got some really steep walls going on right here. You know, really good ledges to fish around. You can see when I pull it back how dark these things are. So you got lots of opportunities, especially with this main river channel being there. We move over here, we see some more ledge fishing over here that you could do. You know, we didn't mark all the ledges for you because pretty much the entire thing is a ledge. But as we get back in here, we did mark some stuff for you that we found that was a little bit different maybe than just all of the ledge stuff. But here you can see, if you look back in here, you've got some really good creek beds that are coming through. Here's a creek bed here, here's a creek bed here. And then as you look, as it comes out here and meets the main river channel, there's a really good point right here. And this one just looks really good. It probably only 6-7 foot on the top, breaks off to this side into a creek bed, and this side it breaks off into the river channel. So just a really good looking point that you'll want to go spend some time on. And then if you look further back in here, you're also going to notice there's a submerged bridge back here. So you may want to scan back there, see what you can find. It's right there on the creek channel like they usually are. It should just be a really good place to go and find some fish. Now I'm going to back out a little bit, just show you where I'm at. So we basically started that bridge. We worked our way down the right side on the last video, and now we worked our way up here, and now we're right up here on this bend. So if I come up here to this bend, really like this area. This just looks like definitely a high percentage, very high percentage area to find fish. It's got a nice, really good pinch point. It's actually on the river channel swing, which is cool as well. And you can see there's all kinds of markers here. I don't know what those say. Let's zoom over those. I imagine they're just going to say ledge, because that's all they say is ledge. So right in here, just like those 2 points, I actually like this one a little bit better just because the way that it sets up and it's a little bit more of a point. But, you know, I think either one of them could be really good spots for you to go take a look at. So let's keep moving back around here. We're going to come down. Obviously, you've got ledges. This guy's marked every stinking ledge that you can see here. Now, you may want to look when you get on these ledges, kind of like what they marked here, is anywhere you see these cut-ins, that's going to produce some type of a point or something, and you'll always want to take a look at those areas. So let's move over here to the right. Looks like we have some more markers over here to our right. So we went around the bend, and now we're going to go up here. We're going to go into this pocket. So let's go ahead and move over here. Let's see what we can find. First off, just like we talked about a minute ago, anywhere where you see these breaks, so like right here, here's a break, and this is actually a major creek coming back through here, right? So that creates these great little spots right there on the outside of those points. Someone also put something here. It looks like you have a pretty good ledge here. You got some really good swings here. Look how hard that thing swings and how much of a ledge that creates. You got the same thing here, another big swing, good ledge as well. So you got some good stuff going on back in here. Now let's get further back in here. And we're really just following that creek channel around, just seeing what it's doing. And you know, there's multiple spots I could have marked here for you that I would go and take a look at. I would look anywhere where this creek channel touches the land. So obviously here. This may not be as obvious. You know, someone might skip over that one because it's not as obvious, but that could be a great spot right in there as well. And then as you follow this around, you got another spot here, swings back around. You're going to want to fish that dock. That dock's setting right over the creek channel. Then maybe move up and maybe fish these docks, because if you look here, if I zoom this up, you're going to notice that creek channel, here's the creek channel, comes down and swings right up against these two docks. Actually just right up against the land there, so that's going to be a good spot as well. You can also fish the insides of these turns, right? So we always talk a lot about the outside turns because that's where the breaks are, but the insides can be really good feeding areas as well. And if you look really closely right here beside this point, you've got some type of a fish attractor or something that's going on there. Now, I don't know if that's validated or not, but someone has actually put that there's a fish attractor there. All right, so let's keep moving up. I think we got one more spot to look at back in here, but it was really just this point. This point sets up great. Look at what is in front. I'm having a hard time talking again. Look at what is in front of this point. So you got this creek bed that swings down here, and you've also got this creek bed on this side. So they basically have an intersection right here off the edge of this point. So you know that that point is just going to be a really, really good looking point to go take a look at. Now we're going to move back in here. Let's take a couple more looks. Now, I've said this on most of my videos, but just want to go ahead and put the statement out there. I can't mark every single offshore hotspot on every single lake. We'd have a billion different points. So what I'm trying to do here is just kind of get you thinking about the types of things that you need to look at from the offshore standpoint, and hopefully giving you some good spots to go take a look at to find some fish, and then you can pattern it after that. But back in here, there's not too much in here. There's just some submerged bridges or culverts. So you always want to go look at those. Those are great places to find fish. You've got a couple here, a submerged bridge. Gosh, got a road bed there. Same thing here. We've got a road bed going in here in this direction. And then you got the submerged bridge. This is a pretty shallow area. It looks like it's only about, what, 9 feet right in that spot. Now there was a spot, as I was just talking to you about, not marking all the offshore stuff. There was a spot that really stood out to me. I think it was right here, right where we saw that fish icon, but right in there could be good too. It looks like it has a really good break going on right in that spot, and then obviously right over here off of this side of this bank line. That's going to be good too. All right, so let's pull out of there and let's move on down, see what else we can find. So as we move on down through here, just a couple things back in this stuff that you can take a look at. These little submerged bridges that are back in here, those could definitely collect from an offshore standpoint. It could be a spot you could set up on and spend, an hour and a half fishing if the fishing was good. But I didn't see too much back in here from offshore. But obviously it's shallow. I'm not saying there's not going to be fish back there. There's definitely be fish back in there. But it's just shallow stuff. We're looking for more of the deeper stuff. And obviously you've got the ledge of this thing just going on everywhere off the river channel. So right in here, when you're looking at this, it all looks the same, but you're looking for those things that are a little bit different, right? We talked about the cut-ins and the points and stuff like that, but right in here, we see this marked. You got a great little pinch point going on right here in this little section. You've got a good creek bed coming through here. That's the dotted lines. And then right through here, you got a nice shallow point going right up against, I don't know if that's riprap or not, but definitely going against that break wall there. All right, so let's keep moving on up. And really, we didn't see too much going through here. Now again, I didn't mark them all, but you'll probably want to check. If that spot's good, then hop over and check this spot, because this spot's very similar. And if that one's good, check this one and this one. I mean, you could have a nice little pattern, and you could run 4 of those little points right there in that one section. So just because I only marked that one doesn't mean that these aren't going to have the potential to be productive as well. It's just that one looked like one of the best ones, and this one looks pretty good too. These other two look okay as well. They just don't look as healthy as those other ones, to me at least, from seeing what we can see here. Now obviously if I went out there and I got on the river and checked it out, I might have a totally different opinion. So here we are. We've gone around the main bin on this side, right? Gone around the main bin, and now we're going to come up here and we're going to talk about this area that's right in here. So let's do it. So as we jump in, first thing I don't want to skip this, but because I almost did, but let's go back in here and talk about this little spot right in here, this Russell branch. So if you notice, you've got some really good stuff going on right here. Look at this nice creek channel. It's swinging here, it's swinging here. You got the river here with an island here that's going to cause some areas for them to really be able to ambush bait and stuff like this. This island could be a very productive spot. And then if you go on up here into this branch, there's also a submerged bridge that's back here that you could check out. Not too much other than that to go back in. There's another submerged bridge back there too, but still looks like a really good spot to go take a look at and fish. All right, so we're going to move on up. Now we're going to get into whatever this is. This is Barley Branch. This looks pretty good too. Definitely places I would go and explore. But there's one of those points again, right? They're off the main river channel, right? And then these areas here, when they come off the river channel, you get into these little pockets. Those can be awesome places, especially in the summertime, to go find them and find some pretty good fish. And bluegill will get up in here too and do their spawning and stuff like that. And that can be great areas to go fish. So I know we're talking offshore and I got a little bit sidetracked here, but that is definitely not offshore, but definitely a spot I would go look at. So it's coming over here. We got the point over here, right? Main river channel. That looks great. We've got creek channels coming through here. And if you're just paying attention to the creek channel, it touches right there on that point. So that's why that is marked. Right here, this is where it bends. So you're going to scan around there. And then also definitely I would start about right here where my marker is and go all the way down to here, and I'd spend some time setting off on these points as well and see what you can find there. But definitely scan those little areas here, here, that whole area right there all the way out to those points. All right, so that covers us for that spot. Let's move on up, see what else we can find in here. This is another one of those little cut-ins, another creek coming through. But again, great little points to fish, very productive areas to find fish for sure. We're gonna move on up, see what else we find in here. As we move up here, just another one of those islands to take a look at. Just right off the edge. And if really, you know, might maybe fish like out here, fish on the other side of the island, or the back side of the island, see what you can find. I think that's gonna be a good area for you to take a look at. All right, then we're gonna keep moving. As we move on up, obviously there's a bunch here on Lake Chickamauga, so we're, again, just trying to highlight some good stuff for you. So right here, love this. This has got the nice creek channel that comes back in. Look at all this deep stuff that's right in here. Even got a little point right there as well. This point looks great. Has nice, you know, kind of tapers down. Just looks like a great spot to go fishing. So I would go look in that area for sure. We're gonna move on up. Make sure I don't get too far up here because I don't have these things separated. I think I'm good. So we're gonna move on up. Now we're getting up here to the bridge. Obviously, great offshore spot to take a look at would be on this bridge. But one thing you may want to look at is just look out here in this area and see what's going on. It almost looks like maybe it's an old pond in there or something like that. I can't tell. And then also if you notice these little dotted lines around these things, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's timber, flooded timber, whatever it is. Obviously the bridge is going to be great as well, but see what these things are too. Do some exploring out there for sure. Let's keep moving up. And I'll back out and show you guys where I'm at because I've made my way pretty far up here. So you can see I'm in Ray County now. I don't want to lose myself here. But you can see we've made our way up quite a ways. All right, so let's see what else is up here. This looks really interesting. So you've got this nice little shallow area or shallower area out here getting really close to the river channel. So you know that's going to be a great collection area. That thing's only about 14 foot, 10 foot down here. So nice little flat that sticks out. Those are going to be great spots. I love the breaks that one has as well. But like that area in there for sure. Then we're going to move down. We're going to keep coming down. Didn't see too much from an offshore standpoint in these areas. It's really hard on these river lakes. Also over here, got a good point. Again, you're coming off that main channel, right? And you're looking for spots like this where you have these points. This looks like a really good productive point right here. We're going to move on up, make the turn here, see what else we can find. A couple more things. We got these flats that are over here, so you can check out these flats. Got another little point that comes out that creates a little flat here too. Another one right in here. That one looks juicy too. Even got another one here that we forgot to mark. So if you see those two, just remember there's one more just north of that area. And that's going to be right back in here. So now we're going to move up. We're by Watts Creek Light. And that means we're getting really close to the Watts Bar Dam because there it is. It's right there in front of us. We're almost done on this one. So as we get up here, I don't know how far in here you can fish, but definitely fish around these points if it allows you. I don't know if that buoy's out here. It looks like it's on the inside, so you should still be able to fish the insides and the around these points. So definitely fishing around those points. It's the same thing we've been talking about this whole time. You may even want to swing over here. This one doesn't make as good of a point, but even like right in here, see where it's really, it was really sharp. It's not as much anymore, but it was really sharp break right here, and then it goes to this little flat. These can be good areas to go look at. Not offshore, but again, good little spots in the summertime to go explore. Usually lots of vegetation and stuff like that in those as well. So we're going to keep moving up, see what else we can find up here. Next thing we get into this area, and really we're just looking at another really good ledge that's going on right in here. It says look for the nuclear power plant. There must be something going on right here along this. I believe this is a bunch of riprap and stuff that's out there off the edge. And then moving down, we're now at the dam, so we'll end there. I went ahead and put this here so I knew that, hey, you're at the dam. Now, I don't know how close you can get to the dam, but if you can get over here, I don't know if you can or not, you may want to check this out because I don't know what's going on over here, but this definitely looks like a nice little ledge right in there and a nice little ledge right in there as well. But again, I don't know if you can get back here, if it's safe to get back in there or not. So that covers us for Lake Chickamauga on the upper section for the offshore stuff. When I come back, we're going to go down to the midsection. I don't even have it in here yet. I got to import it into my phone. But we'll go down here to the midsection and we'll cover all of those areas as well. Talk about the offshore stuff there. Hopefully it will help you guys out a ton. Remember, we've got all of these waypoints plus the Google Earth waypoints out there for you so you can get them and put them on a card and put them into your graph and have them when you're out on the lake. Just go out and check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. We've got this lake plus many other lakes out there for you already. Just go check it out again, simplisticfishing.com, and make sure go check out our primary sponsor. That's Omnia Fishing. We've got the link in the description below. And until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.